Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to replace this Fender with this Fender Eliminator that I designed on SolidWorks and printed out on my 3D printer. The first thing we have to do is take off the passenger seat so that we can access the wiring for the turn signal and license plate wiring. This is the connector that we're interested in. To remove it, there's a tab right here that needs to be lifted up, and then you can pull it out just like that. A 5mm Allen key will be used to remove these 4 button head Allen screws. Now we can take this apart so we can harvest the lights and the wiring, and of course the license plate. Four millimeter Allen removes these 3 screws. 10mm socket for this one. 8mm socket. Four millimeter Allen. There are rubber grommets in these 2 positions. They have to be removed. Now we can separate this clamshell. There's a tab that has to be pinched right here. That releases the connector for the turn signal. And if you notice, the 2 sides are color coded. The black connectors go to the left side, the white connectors go to the right side. These 2 screws hold the license plate light on, and I'm going to use a number 3 Phillips. There are 5 wire traps. Those can be removed with a number 2 Phillips. These won't be reused, so I'll just go ahead and pull them off. Then we'll release the wire harness for the license plate light. There's a tab here to push down, and that releases the connector. Here's a closer look at the Fender Eliminator that I designed and 3D printed. It's printed in PETG, which is very strong and has excellent layer adhesion, and it's also UV stable, so I don't have to worry about this being out in the sun for long periods of time. The reason why I made my own is because all of the other Fender Eliminator kits that I saw on the market just leave the wires exposed underneath the fender. So if rocks or twigs or whatever get underneath and hit the wiring, it could possibly do damage. So I went ahead and designed mine with this cover so that the wiring is protected. This grommet has to be clocked in the right position, just like that. The turn signals use the stock 6mm bolt. And I purchased a 6mm lock nut. And we'll do the same for the other turn signal. I'll hook up the harness. Make sure you hear that click. There's for the license plate light. Then the wiring goes through this hole. We're back underneath the bike. The wiring has to be fed through this hole right here. And then we can place everything. Let's make sure that the wires are all the way through so they don't pinch. The short bolts go to the front. Just put them in partially until all four are seated. These can be a bit of a challenge sometimes to line up. The longer bolts go through the grommets in the back. And you just kind of have to move it around until the thread starts to catch. It's all about that wiggle. And you want to be careful not to cross thread. These bolts are made out of very soft stainless steel. The cover can go either way, it doesn't matter. But it's a bit of a friction fit, so you don't have to worry about it falling off as you try to put it in. And then there are 4 sheet metal screws that secure it to the bracket.
There's 4 of them.
All that's left to do is to tuck this wiring in here neatly as possible and hook up the connector. There it is, all put together, including the license plate. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. And stay tuned, I'm going to have a lot more content in the near future, including some about my Hayabusa. Thanks for watching.